from Lagdo Dam in the Cameroon Republic. I shall also commit to working with state governments like Bayelsa to build the required flood management infrastructure. A scholarship granted to the 2 children he has left behind. This scholarship will educate them up to university level. God bless them.
I mean, I don't know if 5 million naira will educate them to up to university level, which is a lie. If you have to factor in inflation and every other thing. But yeah, he gave them 5 million naira. So that makes it a total donation in Bayelsa 55 million naira. I mean, they said that Obi donated 5 million naira to support the flood victims everywhere he's been to. Tinubu has been donating 50 million, 100 million to the flood and the fire fire victims up north. So everybody, they do their own, what do you call it? Their own carry me for now. Depends on how deep your pocket is. So that is what happened in Bayelsa. And Jeje Sidano. I can't realize, say, Omo. They say if 2 lovers are fighting, make you dey careful. Because as it be, it be like Tom and Jerry. As it be now, Tinubu, Pa Abraham, Abi Father Abraham, because we really need to. They said it was Pastor Adeboye that christianed Tinubu as Abraham, father of many nations. So, to some of us, as father of many nations, you can't fight people because you are father of many nations, you know. This is no longer like when you are in the world. For example, I don't know how long Pastor Adeboye named Tinubu Abraham. Pa Abraham. I don't know how long. But somebody said, if they want to call Tinubu Abraham, they will just say, Ibro Bobo. Abi Ibro is Ibrahim. Abraham is Ibrahim, Abi. For those who grew up in Lagos Island and all these places, who remember the true story of Tinubu, you get. Sometimes when you say all those things, they will say it's because you don't like him, you hate him. But there are people who actually know his story. So when they see him, they will say, we know Mayegun, now you they learn late. We they call him Ibro Bobo from Bodilon. Ibro Bodilon. You they see him? So some of you are surprised. Why? I mean, when was that? They don't start to. Now, so they talk say Goodluck Jonathan was Azikiwe because of 2011 election. Suddenly, Goodluck Jonathan said he had a link to Igbo. You remember that time? So now we know that Muslim ticket is an issue. Okay, fine. Many of you, they para. Muslim ticket. Wala go happen. Oh. But you didn't even know that this is Mr. Ibrahim. From brother Ibrahim to Papa Abraham. No, brother Abraham. To now Daddy Abraham. The daddy of many nations. Why would you want to hold grudges? So when the other day when they said that Bishop Bola Abraham will never run out of bishops if he, he's been in the ministry for a while. Some of you didn't pay. I mean, you didn't pay attention. Somebody said comica. I'm trying to make it look at comica. It's not comica. It's not funny. Stop laughing. This is not funny. This is serious. 2023 election for them is the survivor of what is coming after them. Something that could make them lose everything. So if somebody turned around and said that a Muslim ticket that is making you panic, do you know that I'm actually Abraham? Don't you know that that's religious manipulation? And that is why when they needed a bishop to attend their Muslim ticket declaration, it wasn't hard because he did blood. Here you get. So if you see Bishop Abraham on the left and you see Bishop Oshiomole on the right, tell me, if they come out tomorrow and say, don't listen to what people say, as you are looking at me, so I be Abraham, I just didn't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, okay? I still have your interest as well. My wife is a pastor in Redeem. In that same Redeem church, I became Abraham, father of many, many nations. So the trick is there. And then what do you call the laugh is not lost on us. As some have said that they will kill if they have to kill to ensure that the APC, Egbekegbe, win in 2023, especially in Borno State. I mean, they will kill. He said it. So, but Bishop Abraham said, as for me, there is no point in fighting or anything, because even the man, all those who offended me, everybody that tried to challenge me, I have defeated all of them. Why should I fight anybody? Even Yemi, Pastor Ruga, he has accepted that indeed, good men are not needed for leadership because they are only good in or good at selling ice cream. So Osinbajo himself is looking forward to retirement by opening his own Osinbajo ice cream company. I didn't say that. But the only hilarious part of it is that Osinbajo, Pastor Ruga, said the chairman of his own Osinbajo ice cream company will be the same man that actually gave him the retirement plan to go and sell ice cream, not become president of a country. Yeah, he met them recently and he said, well, I'm happy to introduce to you the chairman, Shitty Man, the chairman of Osinbajo ice cream company in short.
Who is running distinguished Senator Kashim Shettima, who is also the majority shareholder and chairman of the Yemi Osinbajo ice cream company.
Just to remind them, you said I should go and sell ice cream. Well, here you go. Is the vice presidential candidate of APC, Egbekegbe, and he is also the highest shareholder in Yemi Osinbajo ice cream company. Guess what? They go buy maybe they go buy a keke. If the OT no work out, last, maybe they will have to go and invest in Osinbajo's ice cream company. But at that same meeting, Osinbajo was telling his own team, he said, you know what, guys, if you now want chop, you better go chop. Oh. All of you now wait to say, since I know win, money they flow everywhere. Oh. Me, I get few months to go. If all of you now want chop, you better go chop. Oh. Now so then gather themselves in Kano. Baba, we are sorry. Our leader said we should go and work for you. I mean, Osinbajo's defenders, they came before Father Abraham to say, we are sorry, sir. Pastor say, no, we'll go follow Father Abraham. And he said, I am the father of all. I don't forgive you.
Your Excellency, our candidate, in making this arrangements of the support groups, 3 different support groups of that campaigned for Osinbajo pre-primaries, we made consultations with your friends and even your enemies. Sometimes all of them speak on one good quality about you. Most of them have agreed that you stood out of being patient and that strength of forgiving whosoever offends you in politics. Your Excellency, sir, we plead and will want to see more of the public participation between you, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and all other aspirants that are contestant against you. You are the candidate. You have won. You are already the winner, and you are going to be the next President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, inshallah. Sir, my group has a structure in the northern states. We brought in the coordinators from the 54 senatorial districts from the 19 states, sir. We are for now in the 19 northern states. We promise, with the commitment, the perseverance, to deliver you in 2023, inshallah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think this is a very important, nothing against him. I've been to his house after the primary. I've seen him the day of the goodwill message to the retreat organized by the president. And the man who forgives, a man who asks for forgiveness from Allah.
Sorry, Jerry. I mean, I'll get you a longer one next time, okay? Because our time is actually like winding up as well. So yeah, he said he has asked for forgiveness, it's been forgiven. So go and sin no more and make sure you work for us. But unfortunately, most of these guys are not even delivering most of the promises they are making. A whole Kano. How could you do this to Kolu after all of that pledges and all that money? This is not acceptable. You know what I mean? Kano.
Ba kowa a titi, duba titi dan Allah. Ai gashi, wallahi ɗauka nake wallahi ba kowa, wallahi zan nuna miki, wallahi, ni kurin danke na to na ɗauki hoto. Billahi lazi la ilaha illa wa kin ganni mun tawo wallahi ba kowa a gidan sarki. Bari na nuna miki, wallahi ɗauka nake. Yanda muke wayannan da ke zaki ji billahi lazi la ilaha illa huwa, abun mamaki wallahi. Bari ki gani. Hello. Ba kowa. Gashi tan da jan hula, dube su ba kowa. Ke ku tsaya su wuce.
So that is something that is called the disappointing outing Inca, despite all of the billions that they scheduled to spend in Kano. Sure, you get me now. But they are waiting for Bokwari. You know, Bokwari gets this cult followership. So if you need hundreds of thousands to come out, once they hear that Bokwari is coming, they will be out. And that may boost the morale of the Lagos Abobakus. So when Bokwari said he's going to lead the campaign of Kolu, they are waiting for a very, very entertaining period where everywhere will jam-packed. And they can say it's because they love Daddy Abraham. Sure you get. So no be me talk more. I mean, any of you who is still holding any kind of a grudge or grudges after your APC, Egbekegbe's primary, Baba Abraham said he has forgiven Pastor Ruga, and everybody should just go and get ready and work to keep him as your next president, as we have seen. But when you now come down to what Emefiele is up to, He said he's going to change Nigeria Naira. To what? Are they about to add some extra zeros? As Nigeria reached that breaking point whereby, listen, the only thing that can make Nigeria to stop, to hide that a dollar is now 750 naira to 750 naira to a dollar. Yeah. So maybe they will just say, we are removing some zero so that it will just be 75 naira to a dollar. Like they did in Ghana. You remember when they removed zero? They will just say, your 50 naira is now 5 naira. They will remove 1 0 because the way Nigeria is going, Zimbabwe, they will become your motivational, mentor. They will be your mentor. So maybe Emefiole is about to remove ones, I don't know, but they said they want to redesign the Naira, okay? So 200 naira, 100 naira, 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira. So waiting my own suspicious Nigerian PTSD mind is telling me is that you may wake up tomorrow and 100 naira will be 10 naira. 200 naira will be 20 naira. 500 naira will be 50 naira. 1,000 naira will be 100 naira. And they will now make it look like $1 is now 75 naira to $1. But guess what? The value of that your 75, the real value of that 75 naira the real value of your 750, what am I saying? Yeah, 750 naira, that they remove 1 0 is still that same trashy value, even if they remove all of the zero. And they turn your 100 naira to 1 naira. And they turn your 200 naira to 2 naira. And they remove 2 zeros, right? It will still be the same thing. Now the number, now the thing where you print on paper, they won't change, not the value of that currency. Remember now, this Emefiole said the reason why Naira is losing its value in Nigeria was because of some trees in Abuja. I don't know if many of you remember that. This same central bank governor of Nigeria, he came out, he said, the reason why Naira is losing its value was because there are some trees in Abuja that they need to cut them down. Because under those trees, people where they exchange money, bureau de change, they are standing under the tree. The tree is providing shade for bureau de change in Abuja. And that is why Nigeria Naira was losing its value against the rest of the world, their currencies, right? They cut down trees, hundreds of trees, they mow them down from 200 naira or 250 naira to $1. It is now over 700 naira to $1. The Emefiole brought another trick. He called it E-Naira. E-Naira. Hey, I came here and said, if you put your money, it go be like this Ponzi scheme. You don't go. Now Sahara, you do. Nigeria bond, Nigeria this or that. All of those things have been liquidated. Okay? Their value have been completely, reduced or gone, wiped off. You will find out later. Shebi, you buy Nigerian bond, Abi. The bond is going to become this tomorrow. They have already doctored their stock and their stock market, everything. So they follow them, Abi. Emefiole came out. He said the way to fight for poor forex in Nigeria was to get all of us where they send money go Nigeria. They were targeting us, targeting our money. All of us where the diaspora. They were targeting Emefiole with his gang of thieves. They came together. The way to rescue the Naira is to target the money we send home. They were reading it everywhere. Hey, Nigerians abroad are sending over $35 billion in a year to Nigeria. Hey, Emefiole was like, if we can control that money, even if half of that 35 billion can come through CBN, Central Bank, we no go to suffer that much. Because this now we get the real cash. See, let me tell you something. Everybody where they live abroad, okay? Now we get the real currency, the raw currency. And the people running Nigeria, they know that. They have put together different schemes, lies, to swindle us, to steal from us, to rob us. Many people are falling for their scams before. But with the modern day social media, what do you call it? The available information that people have now, it has become so difficult for the likes of Emefiole to steal our money. He brought something, they call it Inira. Inira. I said, don't let them lie to you. There's nothing called Inira. Nah, Inira. In Yoruba, is Inira. In English, it's called suffering. I don't know what it is called in Igbo or any other language right there in Nigeria. But Inira, no be Inira. The whole thing, when it came out, they were promising us 5 naira on every dollar. If I send $100, I will collect 500 naira from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Waiting concern me with them. They were trying to make us use their e-naira app so that they can then use that and say, we are 200 million people in Nigeria. We have over 60 million people who are trading through e-naira platform. Almost they don't get 100,000 people, 200 million country. Nobody trusted them because they are fraudsters. They are fraudulent. Nobody trusts that kind of a system. For real, except for those who are as dumb as those that believe in them. The way has come out again, Emefiole. This Emefiole, he gave a loan, 1.4 trillion naira. They call the money loan for farmers in Nigeria. So that if they give farmers loan and they give them fertilizers, if they manage to grow food crops in large quantities, they can use that they can flood the market with that and crash the food price. You know what happened? They run loss. Short. Loss. 1.4 trillion naira. Guess what? The farmers they gave the money to, many of them, they killed them. Boko Haram terrorists killed them. Fulani terrorists killed some of them and chased the rest of them out of their farms and took over their farms. Central Bank governor no fit go collect loan because the farmers served in the IDP camp. Waiting you won't go. Okay. Let's say, Abdullahi, Adamu, Shehu, Garbage, Femi Okonu Adeshino, all of you come here. The money where you collect for farming from Central Bank, how you go pay them? They say, I am coming from IDP camp in Benue. I am coming from the IDP camp in Sokoto. Now, the KB IDP camp have been in the last 3 years. So they run at loss. The terrorism destroyed most of those investments. And they ended up having to go and start collecting paddy rice from everywhere. Paddy rice are the rice they have not processed though. You know the rice, where we say it's still inside in shell. They call them paddy rice. Now they have to bag paddy rice, and the sawdust, and they hire trucks to load them in Abuja. Rice where people go chop, rice where they suppose they farms from hundreds of kilometers away, just to show to you that they are doing something. This is Emefiole. After losing 1.4 trillion naira investment, he had to quickly make a display in Abuja. Pyramid rice in Abuja. Who does that? You harvested your farm. You harvested the rice from far away. You put them inside bag, unprocessed, and you come dump them on a field in Abuja to take pictures and say, see what we have done. 1.4 trillion naira. They barely saw 200 billion naira back. 1.4 trillion. They lost everything. The Emefiole want to change the naira. Ogbeni Iwoma Dirao, listen to him. He's a very good liar, by the way. Just listen. They want to change naira.
As at the end of September 2022, available data at the CBN indicate that 2.73 trillion naira out of the 3.23 trillion naira currency in circulation was outside the vaults of commercial banks across the country and supposedly held by members of the public. Evidently, currency in circulation has more than doubled since 2015, rising from 1.46 trillion in December 2015 to 3.23 trillion as of September 2022. I must say that this is a very worrisome trend that cannot continue to be allowed. 2. Worsening shortage of clean and fit banknotes with attendant negative perception of the CBN and increased risk to financial stability. 3. Increasing ease and risk of counterfeiting, evidenced by several security reports. Indeed, recent developments in photographic technology and advancements in printing devices have made counterfeiting relatively easier. In recent years, the CBN has recorded significantly higher rates of counterfeiting, especially at the higher denominations of 500 and 1,000 naira banknotes. Although global best practice is for central banks to redesign, produce, and circulate new local legal tender every 5 to 8 years, our existing series of banknotes, the naira, has not been redesigned in the last 20 years. The bank remains resolutely determined to achieve the objective of its mandate as enshrined in Section 2B of the CBN Act of 2007 to ensure a strong and effective legal tender. It is therefore no longer tenable to continue with business as usual, especially given the continually evolving circumstances that would impeach the optimal performance of our naira. Furthermore, we believe that the redesign of the currency will help deepen our drive to entrench cashless economy, as it will be complemented by increased minting of our e-naira. This will further rein in the currency outside the banking system into the banking system, thereby making monetary policy more efficacious. Also, in view of the prevailing level of security situation in the country, the CBN is convinced that the incidence of terrorism and kidnapping will be minimized as access to large volume of money outside the banking system used as source of funds for ransom payments will begin to dry up. Ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of these trends, problems, and facts set out above, and in line with the provisions of Sections 2B, Section 18A, and Section 19, Subsection A and B of the CBN Act 2007, the management of the CBN has sought and obtained the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari to redesign, produce, release, and circulate new series of banknotes at 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira levels. In line with this approval, we have finalized arrangements for the new currency to begin circulation from December 15, 2022, after its launch by President Muhammadu Buhari. The new and existing currencies shall remain legal tender and circulate together until January 31, 2023, when the existing currencies shall cease to be legal tender. Accordingly, all deposit money banks currently holding the existing denominations of the currency may begin returning these banknotes back to the CBN effective immediately. The newly designed currency will be released to the banks in the order of first come, first served basis. Customers of banks are enjoined to begin paying into their bank accounts the existing currency to enable them to withdraw the new banknotes once circulation begins in mid-December 2022. All banks are therefore expected to keep open their currency processing centers from Monday to Saturday so as to accommodate all cash that will be returned by their customers to their vaults. For the purpose of this transition from existing to new notes, bank charges for cash deposits are hereby suspended with immediate effect. Therefore, deposit money banks are to note that no bank customer shall bear any charges for cash returned or paid into their bank accounts. Members of the public are to please note further that the present notes remain legal tender and should not be rejected as a means of exchange for purchase of goods and services. We would like to use this opportunity to reassure the general public that the CBN would continue to monitor both the financial system in particular and the economy in general, and always act in good faith for the achievement of the bank's objectives.
You realize that he's reading it, Abi, is a well-prepared public presentation, but there are questions that they won't answer, okay? That was a man that printed over 21 trillion naira and handed them over to Bokwari's government to share. I mean, he confessed to that himself. So that means they have printed too much, Abi. So they need to print more and, and all that. In 2 months, Abi, Emefiole, the central bank governor of Nigeria, just last year, defending the money he printed en masse that got exposed by another state governor, and he defended it a year after that. For whatever they are up to, they are changing the currencies. I mean, this was a year ago. It's not that long.
Right? That is our job, right? To print is about saying lending money. So there's no need putting all the controversy about printing on money as if we're going into the factory printing naira and then distributing on the street. It is very inappropriate for people to just give some coloration to the word printing of money as if it is some foreign word coming from the sky. Okay, so I think it's important for me to put it this way, that in 2015, 2016, the kind of situations we find ourselves now, which is even worse than what we faced in 2015, 2016, we did provide budget support facility for all the states of this country. That loan remains unpaid till now, and we are going to insist on the states paying back those monies going forward, since they are accusing us of giving them loans. That's what they're saying. And so most countries in the world today are confronted by not only health challenges coming from the pandemic of COVID, and also economic crisis and the rest of them. And what I keep saying this, it would be irresponsible for the Central Bank of Nigeria or any central bank or any Fed to stand idle and then refuse to support its government at this time. And what is being done, right, is being done in any climb. And at the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting, I did say, and I gave data about what is being done, even in developed economies, about what needs to be done to shore up their economy and take them out of recession. Nigeria is unfortunately in a very bad situation. I'm not going to pretend about it, in the sense that we are facing problem about productivity output, which is GDP. Luckily, we managed to just come out of it with a hair's breadth, and we are working very hard to see how we can not only have our head above water, but get our waist above water. That is what we are focused on right now. And of course, we are also confronted by issues of inflation and prices and the rest of them. And so for us to begin to see that some people playing some games, trying to come up with overheating this polity, talking about printing of money, I think is very unfortunate and totally inappropriate. And I would like to advise that this should stop. We should all work.
I would like to be polite. Emefiole, I would like to be polite. Please, shut up. I mean, that's what Kolu will say. Is that not what Pa Abraham will say? I would like to be polite. Shut up, Emefiole. What is done with that is said a year ago is that it has now gone worse. Nigeria debt is now over $120 billion. That is over 63 trillion naira. Now, because of him. So they want to print more money, but it's going to be a different design. Somebody was talking about it last year. I mean, there's something up, isn't there? I mean, maybe Tinubu You may have a different idea because, I mean, APC, there's talk saying that Tinubu economic blueprint, Bokwari they use. Have you heard that before? See, you are acting surprised. Kemi Adeosun, you remember that disgraced Minister of Finance or Finance Minister in Nigeria, Kemi Adeosun, you remember him? She said that they are using Tinubu economic blueprint of Lagos. That is what APC, Egbekegbe, is using in Nigeria. Economic blueprint. Tinubu, tell us a bit about that.
If we reduce the purchasing power.
Hang on. That's what I wanted to ask. Like, Emefiole has contributed in digging Nigeria into a deep hole. And as a B, it doesn't seem, it's not looking like he has any kind of regret. He's doing the right thing, he believes. So if it's you, President Pa Abraham Tinubu, what would you do to get us out of here? For example, like one Nigeria. Now, if they ask him, what would you do? Pa Abraham, sir.
If we reduce the purchasing power of the people, we can further slow down the economy. Let's widen the tax nets. Those who are not paying now, if it is inclusive of Bola Tinubu, let the nets get bigger and we take in more taxes, and that is what we must do in the country.
Wow. Let us clap for him. Many of you are bad child. I mean, is that the best you can do? Clap for this economist from Iragbiji. Come on. Eh? You clap higher. Like, people wait there and say, wow. Do you get that? In the hand of these rogues, Atiku, Tinubu, somebody said that, God, you will see, I showed you, you will see what will happen. God will share, if they talk, say God go shame somebody where they want you. So that it's malota. Pow, pow, pow. Very, very, somebody said, how can somebody be this so good, wise, and intelligent like that if it's the best among the rest? If anybody know what may APC win 2023, we no care. This guy, he said, he's a member of House of Assembly in Borono. If don't kill, we go kill. Sorry, I know here this Kanuri. It's not Fulani, it's a Kanuri. That's another tribe. Because some of you, Nigeria don't make you feel like northern Nigeria is Hausa and Fulani. Fulani is probably like about 3% of the population of the north. 3%. You see these Kanuri people, sorry if you are Kanuri watching me right now. I don't want to generalize, okay? The Fulani terrorists, those are the ones with cows and guns. You see this Boko Haram, they are not just Fulani. Fulani no today inside out those ones. If you want to see Boko Haram members, senior comrade, armed comrade, they are mostly Kanuris. And this guy will be a House of Assembly member. I they suspect him. I know to know within they talk, but I 100% know say he's a repentant terrorist who is not representing the region. He said they will kill anybody they have to kill for Tinubu to be the president, whatever it's going to take. Because you remember, Shetima is from Borono, and it is not new. If you don't believe it, that means you have not been following the story. Listen to him.
Marte local government land. Ambassador Bahamed Jitambeji. Kan yejen bulan rumyen ya etabe buyen dembuna. Mongonolan empty mongonombeji kan yejen bulan
That's not Fufude. That is not Fufude, the language of the Fulanese. That is Kanuri. And he's House of Assembly member, a lawmaker. But see, terrorists, they make law. You they ask for peace. You decrease. Now, so your brain did backwards reach. You have terrorists who are making laws for peace. There is no peace here. Violence every left, right, and center. You can't act surprised. Why are you acting surprised? You are surprising me that you are surprised. Why are you acting surprised? Terrorists are everywhere. They are making laws. And you will get sense. You talk about law and order. Which law? Law made by terrorists. Look at them. They kill you, they kill you. You die, you die. You want my dirao. If I this whole world self, as it be so now, everybody, here in the UK, we just got a new prime minister. As the guy they speak grammar, they speak. I say, oh man, you know, very smart and sharp. Listens to a few of it, but Iwama Dirao, listen to him, Rishi.
Good morning. I've just been to Buckingham Palace and accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government in his name. It is only right to explain why I am standing here as your new Prime Minister. Right now, our country is facing a profound economic crisis. The aftermath of COVID still lingers. Putin's war in Ukraine has destabilized energy markets and supply chains the world over. I want to pay tribute to my predecessor, Liz Truss. She was not wrong to want to improve growth in this country. It is a noble aim. And I admired her restlessness to create change. But some mistakes were made. Not born of ill will or bad intentions. Quite the opposite, in fact. But mistakes nonetheless. And I have been elected as leader of my party and your Prime Minister, in part, to fix them. And that work begins immediately. I will place economic stability and confidence at the heart of this government's agenda. This will mean difficult decisions to come. But you saw me during COVID doing everything I could to protect.
Because all those ones, they look like, is Indian, by the way. All of you that they try to change the story, okay? Is Indian, right? But in Papa was born in Kenya. In Mama was born, I don't know. Sorry about that. Women, don't say, why would you say you don't know about your mama? Because that's not where I'm going with all of this, okay? However, they are Indians. India was colonized by Britain. But everybody will agree for the decades that British colonized India, the value of the Indian people was never taken away from them, including their language, which has become, including their religion as well. So when Richie Bobo became the Prime Minister of the Conservative Party of the UK, Omogbon, he quickly did this, Wájú ọpọ́n ọ̀fà ògbọ́ o, ẹ̀yìn ọpọ́n ọ̀fà ògbọ́ o, olùmọ̀ràn lọ́tún o, ọlọ́kànràn òsì o, àárín méjì ifá òde ọ̀run o. Number 10 tí mo fẹ́ wọ̀ yìí, ó ń gbóná mọ́ everybody ní o, medicine o, may no hot with me o. Ọmọ ọgbọ́n we call him. Ìwọ má dira o. omo. Waiting just do there is what the omo ogbons kind of do. They will say, Ewa jo okpon, eyin okpon. That is the front of the board. That is the front of this word, the back of the word, the left side of the word, the right side of the word, and you people who actually are the owner of this whole world. Behave. I want to enter number 10 now. This whole I don't know what's in the inside though, but now you supposed to know what's in the inside though. So you know, they say you told like you move in 24 hours, so you have to tell me what's in the inside this place. So to say, I decided to share that, even though it might not be to you. But how is that relevant to what we are saying here? I'll tell you. It is significant, right? Nigeria, which currently is experiencing which is currently at the state of total dissipation. Are you going to dissipation? Dissipation, everything cut off, everyone, they go their separate way. There is something that brought us together in the first place. Then there is also religion that they brought into it. Okay? The people that brought you the survivor and the salvation and everything to see God since all this while, the people who brought you salvation, so to say, they are not the people that brought us salvation. Our forefathers, my friend, shut up, Jare. I would like to be polite. Shut up. British came and they brought that religion. That same Britain is now being led by an Hindu, which has to touch and say, again, no, India, India, Marrakesh, all of you, India, Rawanias, your son don't dey here, I will enter this place, so I know they come out, and he did the ritual. If I become prime minister of I can't, because my papa no be multi-millionaire in pounds. You see that guy, in papa was a millionaire. The guy himself and his wife and the inheritance they inherited from their parents here in the UK, is almost 800 million pounds. So 1 million pounds of their money, is over 800 million, nearly 900 million naira of your money. Now they have 800 of that. So the guy is rich, he has everything. So, but again, you cannot make me. If I become prime minister of the UK or prime minister of Scotland one day, that's what we go do. Ẹ̀yin tó láyé, mo fún yín 48 hours, so mi ò ní manifesto, but mo fẹ́ make sure pé wetin dey pursue them come up from this number 10. May no pursue me, mo fún yín 24 hours. The candle no go out, you know that kind of thing. And you enter there and say, yala ya anybody. Last, anybody. You know what, that kind of thing. I say, you know, see how you take it back to them. But don't worry, that's just a distraction. But the bottom line is that the day Nigeria sees, right, you will get to realize that we have a lot that could indeed continue to exist side by side, even with what you have known, without us turning around to desecrate, decimate, and at the same time devalue the real people that we are, because they said we are, well, they are evil, as they will say. Now, the right thing they said they will create out of their goodness is this Nigeria, the one that has become, you know, a blood-sucking entity that we don't even know how much of our blood will have to be sacrificed before we can actually enjoy the peace and citizenship that people of, the citizens of different countries of the world actually experiences. And Nigeria is not going to give you that. Yoruba nation. The Yoruba nation that Atiku called whatever they call themselves. We know ourselves. And then, the word Yoruba is not mono. When you say Yoruba people, it's not mono. We have a lot of a tribe here that makes up that Yoruba nation. And Nigeria is the contraption that has forced and kept us, forced us to stay still in the contraption that doesn't really, it's never in our own interest, so to say, right? Now that contraption want to keep us forced together and keep us in a state of denial, continue to deny our real identity, continue to deny the identity and acknowledgement that there are people, nations within nations that make up the contraption that the British forced together. And until those people are given back their identity, or they win it back, or carry back, whatever it is, peace no good in Nigeria. I don't know how to say it better. Your criminal leaders benefiting from it knows that. But how long can they hold it? You don't know, I don't know. You can wake up tomorrow and this old shit will don't hit the fan and everybody go find themselves. As they say, find your bearing. I'll stop there and possibly take one or two calls before we call it a night. If you die trying to save Nigeria, you die wrongfully. Ask Fela. He had an album, a whole album for it. But nobody listened. I'm reminding you, Nigeria, as it be so, it be like say, you are done for. If you ended up in the hands of Kolu, you know what will happen. If you ended up in the hands of Atiku, you know where you are going to end. And what if we ended up in the hand of Obi? I'll let you, let your guess be my guess. I'll be back in a minute or two. Take one or two calls and call it a night. If we are still here, don't go anywhere. My brother, Lord, they give me some advice from the 90s.
Organize. Everybody organize.
I don't know why that's so funny to me, because it was like, you just say you wise. Oh yeah, now, Baba, how are you?
Rishi,